The battlefield was silent, except for the soft hum of distant starships far above. Two figures stood face to face on the rocky ground of the desert planet Zarnak. The sky was dark with two suns setting on the horizon. The air was dry and dust. Blew in small gusts across the cracked surface. One figure was a human soldier named Captain Marcus Kane. He was tall, broad-shouldered, wearing heavy armor with a large plasma rifle slung on his back. His face was hard and determined. Marcus had seen many battles in his career. He thought himself strong and fearless. This was just another fight to win. The other figure was a woman from a strange alien species called the Kalara. She was shorter, but moved with the grace of a predator. Her skin was pale blue, her eyes sharp and calm. She wore light armor that seemed to glow faintly in the darkening light. Her name was Vera. Marcus had been sent by the Earth Coalition to capture Vera. The Kalara were known enemies, feared for their deadly skills and strange powers. Marcus believed that showing strength and loud words would break her spirit quickly. He was wrong. He stepped forward and shouted, "Surrender now, alien. You face the power of Earth's best soldier. You have no chance." Vera did not move or answer. Her eyes stayed locked on Marcus. There was no fear or anger in them, only quiet confidence. Marcus clenched his fists. He pointed his plasma rifle at her and clicked the safety off. "Last chance," he said, voice cold and hard. "Put your hands up or I'll make you regret it." Again, no reply. Vera's lips did not move. Marcus took another step closer. He could feel the tension growing. Soldiers from both sides watched nearby, waiting to see what would happen. Suddenly, Vera moved. She did not run or attack with a weapon. Instead, she reached slowly for her belt. Marcus thought she was pulling a weapon. His fingers squeezed the trigger. The bright plasma bolt flew through the air. But Vera was faster. With one smooth motion, she twisted her body and caught the bolt with her bare hand. Sparks flew as the energy pulse hit her palm. The crowd gasped. Marcus stared, unable to believe what he had just seen. No human could catch a plasma shot without special armor. Vera's hand was untouched. She looked at Marcus calmly. Then, without warning, she moved again. This time she stepped forward and grabbed Marcus's plasma rifle with one hand. With a quick twist, she bent the weapon out of shape like a piece of soft metal. Marcus tried to pull back, but she held him firmly. His weapon was useless now. He was shocked and angry. "You think your strength scares me?" Vera said quietly in perfect basic, the universal language. "Your weapons mean nothing here." Marcus struggled, but her grip was too strong. He was a trained soldier, but this alien was something else. Her movements were smooth and powerful. Suddenly, Vera released the rifle and pushed Marcus back. He fell to the ground, losing his balance. The soldiers watching gasped again. Vera stood tall, her eyes shining under the dark sky. She did not raise her weapon or attack further. Instead, she took a step closer. Marcus felt his heart pounding. He had never been so helpless. He looked up at Vera, ready to fight again, but something stopped him. She looked into his eyes and said, "You should not fight me." Marcus opened his mouth to reply, but Vera's hand shot out in a flash. She touched his chest lightly. Marcus felt a sudden wave of weakness. His legs shook. His body felt heavy, as if all his strength was being taken away. He tried to stand, but his knees gave out. The soldiers around them watched in silence. Marcus, the strong human soldier, was on his knees before the alien woman. "Beg for mercy," Vera said softly. Marcus's pride burned inside him. He struggled to resist, but the strange power in Vera's touch was too strong. His voice came out weak. Double quotes, "Please. No more. Vera smiled slightly. "Good." She stepped back and raised her hand. A small device on her wrist sent out a bright blue light. The soldiers who had come to fight suddenly froze in place, unable to move. Vera turned and looked toward the sky. "Earth thinks it can conquer us with weapons and threats," she said quietly. "They do not understand true power." Marcus lay on the ground, defeated but alive. He looked up at Vera with new respect and fear. He did not know what she was, or where her power came from. But one thing was clear: this battle was far from over. The story of Marcus and Vera was just beginning. The humans would soon learn that the galaxy was full of mysteries and dangers they could not imagine. And that sometimes, the greatest power was not in weapons or armies, but in quiet strength and control. Behind the scenes, the Kilara, like Vera, had trained for centuries to master their bodies and minds. Their strange ability to catch plasma shots and weaken enemies with a touch was a result of ancient techniques passed down through generations. This was not magic, but science and discipline beyond human knowledge. Marcus represented Earth's pride and confidence, but also its lack of understanding. He thought raw power and weapons were enough to win. He was wrong. The tension between Marcus and Vera showed the clash of two very different worlds, one ruled by technology and force, the other by mystery and control. What will happen next? The Earth Coalition will not forget this defeat. Marcus will return with new orders and new weapons. The Kilara will prepare for war. But there will also be secrets to discover and unlikely alliances. Will Marcus learn from his defeat, or will his pride bring more trouble? Will Vera's people stay hidden, or will they rise to challenge the galaxy? The battle for the future of the stars was just beginning. The stars shone over Zarnak's dry surface, but the battlefield remained still. Captain Marcus Kane sat on the edge of a fallen rock, staring at the sky. His hands trembled slightly. He couldn't forget her, the alien named Vera. The soldiers had left. Earth's command had called them back after the loss. Marcus had not spoken much since the fight. His pride was broken. His mind kept repeating the moment when she touched him, and his strength disappeared. But Earth did not rest. In a hidden control room deep inside the Mars command base, General Holloway stood beside a large holoscreen. Officers, analysts, and diplomats sat quietly as footage of the Zarnak battle replayed on the display. They all watched the moment Vera caught the plasma shot, then the moment she bent Marcus's weapon with one hand. And finally, the moment Marcus dropped to his knees. Gasps filled the room. Some whispered that it must be fake. Others stared, unable to explain what they were seeing. "This is real," General Holloway said firmly. "The footage came directly from our scout drones. We've checked it 5 times. No tricks." A silence followed. Then one voice spoke from the back. "What is she?" No one had an answer. Someone else asked, "Is she a threat to Earth?" General Holloway didn't respond right away. He watched Vera's face freeze on the screen. Calm, silent, unbothered by weapons or soldiers. Her silence alone had stopped. "A whole human unit. We don't know yet," he said. "But we will find out, somewhere far away." Vera sat alone inside a crystal cave on the floating cliffs of Coloran 5, her people's hidden world. The walls around her glowed gently, alive with ancient energy. Other Kilara warriors meditated in the deeper chambers, silent and focused. Their way was not loud. It was not about pride or showing off power. It was about control, of self, of body, of the energy around them. Vera opened her eyes slowly. She had felt something ever since the battle, a change in the way the humans looked at her. She knew Marcus Kane would speak of her. She knew Earth would come again, but she did not fear them. She remembered the look in Marcus's eyes, from anger and confidence to confusion, then fear, and finally, respect. Back on Earth's moonbase, a dangerous idea. Commander Jarek, leader of Earth's Special Operations Unit, slammed his hand on the metal table. "She humiliated our captain, made him kneel in front. Of cameras, that message is spreading through alien space. His second-in-command nodded. Yes, sir. Alien factions are sharing it like wildfire. They say humans aren't the strongest anymore. Jarek growled. Then we show them we are. He turned to a nearby console and sent out a command. Bring me Project Chimera. Everyone in the room went still. Sir, Chimera is not tested. I don't care. If that alien woman can bring down our best soldier with a look, then we'll send something that doesn't look at all. No fear, no mercy. Meanwhile, Marcus struggles back on his ship. Marcus Kane was alone in the training room. He punched the wall over and over. Sweat dripped from his face. His knuckles bled through the bandages. He hated the weakness he felt. He hated that everyone now looked at him differently. But more than anything, he hated how calm she was. She didn't shout. She didn't threaten. She didn't even lift a real weapon. And yet, she broke him. What was that touch? He whispered to himself. What did she do to me? He looked at the screen nearby. It showed Earth's order, return to Mars for rebriefing. Marcus closed his eyes. He didn't want revenge. He wanted understanding. On Kalaran 5, a warning Elder Zera, one of the oldest Kylara, came to Vera's chamber. Her skin was dark like the deep ocean, and her eyes carried thousands of years of knowledge. You revealed your power too soon, she said softly. Vera looked up. They forced my hand. Zera nodded slowly. Still, now they will come for more than answers. They will come with fear. I'm ready, Vera replied. Zera studied her carefully. Perhaps you are. But is the galaxy ready for what Earth becomes when it feels weak? Project Chimera is released inside a cold underground facility beneath Earth's southern ice pole. A huge metal door opened. From the darkness walked something tall, armored, and silent. It didn't breathe. It didn't blink. It didn't feel. Project Chimera was Earth's secret weapon, a human-machine hybrid built for total destruction. It was trained to kill without hesitation. Your target is Vera, said Jarek. Bring her back or destroy her. Chimera said nothing. It turned and walked toward the shuttle without a sound. The room trembled behind it. The galaxy reacts news of Vera's victory spread fast. Alien generals from dozens of planets watched the footage. Some were amazed, some were terrified. Others were jealous. On the cold gas world of Drexa, a warlord named Thurn growled. One alien made Earth look weak. That means Earth will strike back harder than ever. His advisor asked, should we act? Thurn nodded. We must prepare. If Earth loses control, the whole galaxy may burn. Vera senses the storm back on Kalaran 5. Vera stepped out of the cave. She looked at the sky. The wind blew gently, but something felt wrong. A storm was coming, not of wind or rain, but of fire and steel. She closed her eyes and listened. Then she heard it. A machine heartbeat. Cold. Empty. Coming closer. Final scene. A silent landing in the quiet forests of Kalaran 5. A ship landed without warning. The animals ran. The trees shook. The grass turned cold. From the ramp stepped Chimera, silent, tall, and deadly. It scanned the area. It spoke only one word. Target. Its eyes glowed red as it began walking toward the cliffs. The wind howled across the cliffs of Kalaran 5. Mist rose from the deep canyons below. Vera stood at the edge, motionless, her pale blue skin glowing in the soft twilight. Her mind was calm, but she could feel it, the presence of something not natural. Something built by human hands. Then she heard it. Heavy steps, metal dragging, no heartbeat. No breath. The thing from Earth had arrived, deep in the forest. Project Chimera marched through the dense alien jungle. It crushed trees underfoot, moved through brush without stopping. Animals fled in every direction. The machine never looked left or right. It had no fear. No thought. Only one order: capture or destroy Vera. A drone above followed silently, sending live footage back to Earth's moonbase. Inside the command center, General Holloway and Commander Jarek watched closely. "She's there," Jarek said, "standing like she owns the planet." "She doesn't realize what we sent," Holloway said coldly. "She's not facing the man anymore. She's facing extinction." Meanwhile, a new player enters not far from Kalaran 5, the Drenax warfleet. Hovered in orbit. Their commander, Lord Jaran, a tall alien with crimson armor and deep black eyes, watched the Earth broadcast with amusement. "So, this is the famous Vera," he said, sipping a golden drink. "She embarrassed the humans. I like her already." His advisor frowned. "Should we make contact?" "No," Jaran said with a grin. "Let the humans make fools of themselves. Then we strike." The Drenax had a plan. They wanted to study Earth and the Kylara, and if possible, conquer both. On the cliffs, the first encounter Chimera reached the edge of the cliff. Vira turned slowly, facing the machine. The wind whipped around them. For a moment, everything went quiet. The machine scanned her. Target acquired. Vera did not speak. She didn't raise a weapon. She just watched. Chimera raised its cannon arm. "You will come with me," it said. "Alive or damaged." Vera didn't flinch. Suddenly, the ground beneath Chimera shifted. The stone cracked. Chimera stepped forward, but the rock gave way. A deep rumble echoed across the cliffs. The edge collapsed under the machine's weight. Vera stepped back as Chimera fell. The ground swallowed the metal. "Soldier whole." Earth's command watches in panic back on the moonbase. Alarms blared. "We've lost signal." He fell into a canyon. "Commander," Jarek shouted, "get the secondary unit online now." But General Holloway raised a hand. "Wait." He stared at the screen. Vera hadn't even moved. She just stood there as the ground itself took care of the threat. Jarek was red with anger. "She used the planet against us." "No," Holloway said quietly. "She is the planet." Deep below the surface, Chimera hit the canyon floor hard. But it wasn't destroyed. The machine slowly stood up, scanning the area. Strange glowing crystals lit the underground world. But as Chimera began to climb back up, the walls moved. Not rocks, living things. Kylara defense systems, shaped like stone but alive, awoke from their sleep. Dozens of tall, silent sentries rose from the canyon floor. One by one, they turned toward Chimera. Chimera raised its weapons. The sentries did not move fast, but they were many. Too many. And Chimera was alone. Vera's warning. Vera returned to the cave where Elder Zera waited. "They sent a machine this time," she said. Zera nodded. "They think silence is weakness." "It's not," Vera said. "It's control." "Then the humans still do not understand," Zera whispered. "And that means more will come." Meanwhile, Marcus watches in silence on board his ship. Marcus Kane stared at the footage of Chimera falling into the canyon. "She didn't even touch it," he said. "She didn't have to," replied a voice. He turned. An old man stepped into the room. It was Director Varn, the one who helped train Marcus in his early years. "The Kylara are not like other enemies," Varn said. "They fight with the world around them. They don't attack first. But when they move, it's final." Marcus looked down. "I tried to intimidate her," Varn nodded. "And you learned," Marcus whispered. "What happens when Earth doesn't learn?" Final scene, a mocking voice high above the planet. Inside the Drenax flagship, Lord Jaran laughed as he watched Chimera vanish into the canyon. "Earth sends metal to fight mind." He turned to his crew. "Send a message to both sides." "What message, my lord?" Jaran grinned. "Let them know the real war hasn't even begun." Ending hook for Part 4. Beneath the surface, Chimera was not dead. And above the stars, new enemy watched, ready to strike both Earth and the Kylara. The canyon was deep and silent, but not for long. Chimera stood in the glowing caves far beneath the surface of Kalaran 5. Its metal body was cracked but still alive. Sparks flew from its chest. The sentries made of stone and crystal surrounded it. Tall and silent, they did not speak. They did not move. They only waited. Chimera raised its weapon. "You stand between me and my mission," it said. But the sentries did not respond with words. Instead, their bodies started to shine. Lines of light moved through their stone arms like rivers of fire. And then, all at once, they attacked. Above the planet, trouble arrives far above Kalaran 5. Earth's scout ships floated quietly. But without warning, new signals appeared on their sensors. Unknown ships, many of them. "They're not Kilara," one officer shouted. "No, they're Drenax." The alien warfleet came fast and strong. Huge, black ships with sharp wings broke through the clouds. Inside them was Lord Jaran, eyes glowing red, voice cold. "Earth is distracted. The Kilara are exposed." Perfect. He sent the order, "Begin invasion." Back on the surface, Vera stood at the top of the cliffs, watching the sky darken. She saw the fire streaks falling through the clouds. Ships. Too many. Not Earth's. Her heart beat faster, not in fear, but in focus. Her training had prepared her for this, but she had hoped it wouldn't happen so soon. Zara came beside her. "They're here," Vera said softly. "Yes," Zara replied. "The ones who wait for chaos." Chimera's escape below the surface. Chimera fought the sentries with full power. Its weapons lit up the cave with blasts of energy. One by one, the sentries fell. But for every one that dropped, 2 more rose. Chimera was fast, strong, and made of steel. But the caves were alive. The walls moved. The ground cracked. And then a soft sound echoed through the tunnels. A voice. A whisper. "Enough." The sentries stopped moving. Chimera turned slowly. From a small opening in the wall, a single figure walked out. It was a young Kilara child, no older than 10. But her eyes glowed with the same power as Vera's. She raised her hand. Chimera's body froze mid-step. The child said, "You are not welcome here." And with one small motion, the entire cave shifted. A strong gust of force threw Chimera up toward the surface, blasting it out of the canyon and into the open air like a missile. Marcus. Watches from orbit. Captain Marcus Kane stood on his new ship, watching the scene through a live feed. He saw Chimera launched into the sky. He saw the Drenax fleet entering the atmosphere. And then he saw her. Viri. Standing on the cliffs again, facing the storm with no fear in her eyes. Marcus whispered to himself, "What is she?" "The glow begins." Vera looked up as the first Drenax drop pods hit the ground. Black armored aliens poured out, weapons raised. They didn't wait. They opened fire, but before the blasts reached her, something strange happened. Her eyes began to glow. Bright, golden, blinding. The energy flowed from her chest to her arms. Her feet lifted slightly from the ground. Zayr stepped back. "It's starting," she said. The blasts from the enemy stopped in mid-air. Froze. And then turned around. The energy bolts flew back toward the attackers, striking them down one by one. Panic spread through the Drenax squads. "It's her. It's the one from the recordings. Fall back." Fall. Boom. The ships began to shake. She hadn't touched them. She hadn't even moved. But her power was now waking fully, and it reached far beyond her body. Chimera crashes back. Chimera landed hard near the battlefield, metal sparking. It tried to stand, its system shaking. It saw Vera again. Its mission returned. "Target reacquired," it said. It raised its arm to fire. Vera turned, eyes glowing brighter than before. She lifted one hand, and Chimera's weapon melted. The cannon turned to liquid and dropped from its arm. Its body began to slow down. Its system screamed errors, system failure, power source corrupted. Then Vera spoke. You were built without a soul. That is your weakness. Chimera's red eyes dimmed. Its knees hit the ground. It fell, silent. New power awakens from the sky. The Drenax watched in shock. Their soldiers were falling. Their weapons were failing. She's doing something to the planet. An officer shouted. No, Lord Jaron said slowly. She is the planet now. He turned, his face pale. For the first time, he felt something strange. Fear. Earth responds back on Mars command. Alarms echoed. The Drenax are attacking. Chimera has failed. They're all losing to her. General Holloway slammed his fist on the desk. I want every ship we have ready now. But Director Varn, sitting quietly in the corner, spoke. You're not ready for her. She's not just a warrior. She's something older. Jarek laughed. She's just an alien freak. Varn stood. No, he said. She's a living weapon. And the galaxy is about to see what happens when that weapon finally chooses a side. Last stand on the cliffs. Vera walked calmly into the battlefield. Drenax forces pulled back, firing wildly. The ground shook under her feet. The sky above turned red. She raised both hands. Wave of golden light spread out across the valley. Ships fell from the air. Tanks stopped moving. Guns turned to ash. Everything mechanical began to die around her. She was not shouting. She was not angry. She was simply awake. Final scene. A message sent as the last Drenax ship escaped the atmosphere. Lord Jaron sent a message out into deep space. To all alien leaders, warlords, and empires, listen closely. He stared into the camera. Do not attack Earth again. Do not anger the Kailara. Do not go near the woman called Vera. He paused. Because I did, and I barely escaped with my life. The battlefield was quiet now. Broken ships lay smoking. On the red ground of Kalaran 5, the wind carried the smell of melted metal. No enemies remained. The Drenax had fled. Their best weapons had failed, and at the center of it all stood Vera. Her eyes no longer glowed, but their memory burned in every soldier's mind. She had not screamed or fought with rage. She had simply whispered ... And everything around her had fallen, but her power came with a cost. She dropped to her knees, her breathing slowed. Zayra under her side. It's happening, Zayra said softly. Too soon. Back on Mars, Earth's secret unveiled inside a hidden underground chamber. General Holloway walked through a steel corridor, followed by Commander Jarek. I don't care what she did, Jarek barked. She bled. That means she can be killed. Holloway said nothing. He stopped in front of a thick vault door. The wall scanner glowed red, then green. The door opened. Inside was darkness. And then a hum. Green lights flickered on, revealing rows of glass tubes. Inside each one floated a shape. Some human, some not, some mixed. Jarek's voice dropped. This is Project Graveburn, isn't it? Holloway nodded. She forced our hand. We have no choice now. One of the tubes slid open. A tall figure stepped out. Its body looked human, but its eyes were black as space. No light. No soul. Meanwhile, Marcus's Dilemma Captain Marcus Kane sat alone inside his private cabin aboard his cruiser, Horizon Breaker. The screen in front of him played the same footage on loop. Vera walking through a battlefield, weapons dying around her. He remembered kneeling before her. He remembered how she could have destroyed him. But DIDN single quotes T. Then came the message from Earth. You are ordered to join Project Graveburn as tactical advisor. Return to Mars immediately. Marcus clenched his fists. He didn't want revenge. He wanted answers, and something deep inside him whispered, she's not your enemy. On Kalaran 5, Vera's weakness. Vera rested inside the crystal cave, her energy low. The glow in her eyes had faded, but her skin was still warm with power. Zayra placed a glowing stone on her forehead. You pushed too far, Zayra warned. Vera whispered. I had to. They were going to destroy the forest. Zara closed her eyes. Do you feel it now? Vera nodded slowly. The Earth's machines. They're growing darker. Zara looked away. Then we have little time. Drenax, Lord Jaran plots again in his private war chamber. Lord Jaran stared at a frozen image of Vera. She stopped our entire fleet, he said, with no ships. No armies. His advisor whispered. The others are watching. The galaxy fears her now. Jaran smiled. Good, let them. Fear makes enemies careful, but fear also blinds. He tapped the screen. Contact Earth. Tell them, I wish to help. Earth's deal with darkness inside the deep lab on Mars. Project Graveburn continued. The black-eyed humanoid code name. Eclipse sat on a steel chair, wires in its back. It didn't blink, didn't speak. A scientist stepped forward. We mixed human DNA with ancient alien remains from the war on Arcos 9. It was a mistake, but it lived. Commander Jarek asked, can it defeat her? The scientist answered, it doesn't need to. It only needs to silence her, forever. Vera's whisper far away on Calaran 5. Vera awoke from a dream. She had seen Earth burning. Not from her, but from something darker. She walked outside the cave and found a young human explorer who had crash-landed during the battle. He was hurt, scared. Vera knelt beside him. You're not like the others, the boy whispered. No, she said softly. But I came from the same stars as you. He looked confused. You're from Earth? He asked. She shook her head. Not quite, but Earth made me what I am. Then she leaned closer and whispered something in his ear. A word. An old word. The boy's eyes widened. His face went pale. I've heard that word. In Earth's oldest stories, it means ... Endbringer. Vera nodded. It was the name they gave to protectors, but Earth forgot. Marcus makes his choice. Marcus stood in front of his shuttle, ready to return to Mars. Soldiers walked past him. He closed his eyes. He thought of Vera's eyes. Her calm, her silence, her mercy. Then he opened his and sent a private message. Director Varn, I need to speak, alone. It's about Project Graveburn and Vera. Eclipses sent the order. Was given. Eclipse was launched in a stealth pod. No sound. No light. It entered Calaran 5's atmosphere without detection. Its mind was not like a human's. It didn't plan. It didn't hesitate. Its mission. Erase the anomaly. Silence the voice. End the whisper. Final scene. Ancient powers stir deep beneath Calaran 5. A hidden chamber began to glow. Symbols lit up across the stone walls. Symbols not seen since Earth's first space age. A voice echoed in the dark. The whisper has been spoken. The protector has returned. Let the old power awaken. A massive door opened underground, and behind it, something waited. Alive. And very, very old. The planet Calaran 5 was too quiet. The wind had stopped. Birds no longer sang, and the forest stood still watching, waiting. Far above, the black stealth pod entered the sky like a falling ghost. It made no sound. It left no light trail. But inside that pod sat something Earth had created and locked away for years. His name was Eclipse. Part human, part alien, no soul, no fear. His only mission, erase Vera. Deep in the crystal caves, Vera stood before the hidden vault, her hand glowing. Softly as the ancient door opened. Behind her, Zara watched carefully. You feel it too, Zara whispered. Vera nodded. Yes, it's waking. Inside the vault were walls covered in glowing words written in Earth's oldest tongue. A language even Earth had forgotten. One phrase stood out, shining brighter than the rest. She who does not shout commands all. Zara stepped forward. It's about you. No, Vera said. It's about what's inside. Then a soft hum began. The room grew warmer. And from the center of the vault, a platform rose. On it lay something wrapped in white light. A weapon? A being? Or a warning? Elsewhere, Eclipse Eclipse stepped out of the pod. Its body shimmered like dark glass. It didn't breathe. It didn't speak. The trees bent away from its path. Animals ran. Even insects vanished. It moved quickly. No tracks, no mistakes. It could sense Vera now, her energy, her presence. Soon it would reach her. Marcus Disobeys. Captain Marcus Kane stood on the deck of the Horizon Breaker, facing Director Varn through a private comlink. "I can't be part of this," Marcus said. "We created something soulless. We're using it to kill someone who never attacked us." Varn's voice was calm. "She's not human, Marcus." "She showed more mercy than we did," Marcus replied. Varn leaned in close to the camera. "You have one chance. Get off that ship, because once Eclipse makes contact, nothing will be left." Marcus ended the call. He looked at his crew. "Plot?" "A jump to Calaran 5, he said. The pilot blinked. "Sir, that's against orders." Marcus gave a cold smile. So was Mercy. First contact. Eclipse reached the outer edge of the caves. Its sensors picked up Vera's signal. It entered. Vera turned slowly as Eclipse appeared, stepping into the glowing chamber without hesitation. Zara stepped in front of her. "Stay back." "But..." Vera held out her hand. "No, he's not here for you." Eclipse stopped a few steps away from her. His black eyes stared into hers. She stared back. No one moved. No one spoke. Then, something strange happened. Vera smiled, not out of joy. Not from pride, but from understanding. "You were made to kill me," she said softly. Eclipse tilted his head. "Yes, but you can't feel why you were made," she added. Eclipse didn't answer. He raised his arm. A glowing red blade formed at his wrist. He charged. The vault awakens as the fight began. The vault behind Vera lit up. The white-wrapped figure on the platform shifted. Zara turned, shocked. It's reacting to her pain. Energy swirled inside the vault like a storm. The ancient walls cracked. The old words burned brighter. The being inside the light began to rise. The fight, silence versus steel. Eclipse struck fast. His blade moved like lightning. But every time he swung, Vera bent like wind, calm, smooth, untouchable. She didn't attack. She only dodged. He lunged as she spun. He slashed. She stepped aside. No noise. No panic. Only silence. And then Eclipse spoke his first words since landing. "You are not fighting back." Vera stopped moving. "I don't need to." Eclipse's blade hummed. "You will lose." Vera stepped forward and said something so strange, so soft, Eclipse actually paused. She said, "You're already free." The laugh that changed everything. Eclipse blinked. For the first time. And then ... Not a loud laugh. A small, broken, unsure sound like a child learning joy. "Zara." Gasped. Vera whispered, "There it is." Eclipse dropped his weapon. He looked at his own hands shaking. "I was made to kill," he said. "But I feel something now." "That's because you weren't just built," Vera said. "You were awakened." And behind her, the vault completed. Its rise. The guardian wakes from the glowing light. The being stepped forward. Tall, pale, wearing no armor. Eyes golden like Vera's. It looked human, but older. More ancient. It looked at Vera. "You opened the vault," it said. "I had no choice," she answered. The being nodded. Double quotes, "The galaxy will tremble again. But this time, they will listen." It turned toward Eclipse. "You must choose. Are you Earth's weapon or Earth's warning?" Eclipse looked between them. "I don't know." "Then you're ready," Vera said. Marcus arrives outside. Marcus's ship landed hard in the forest. He ran through smoke and dust, plasma pistol in hand. He expected battle. Instead, he found peace. He entered the chamber. He saw Eclipse no longer fighting. He saw the glowing being beside Vera, and he saw her turn to him and smile. "Hello again, Captain," she said calmly. Marcus lowered his weapon. What is happening? Vera looked him in the eyes. Something old has returned, not to destroy Earth, but to remind it what it was. Final scene, a voice across the stars. The ancient being raised its hand. A signal was sent across space. Every ship, every empire, every leader received it. A voice, soft but unshakable. Power is not control. Silence is not weakness. And peace is a choice. Make it now or be made to kneel. The message had gone out, not just to Earth. Not just to the Kylara, but to everyone. A voice, calm and powerful, now echoed across every system. Power is not control. Silence is not weakness. And peace is a choice. Make it now or be made to kneel. That single broadcast froze empires, war councils, pirate fleets, and ancient AI strongholds across the stars. And in those few moments of silence, the galaxy held its breath. Earth's moon. Command in panic. General Holloway slammed his hands on the holotable. What do you mean Eclipse didn't finish her? The technician stammered. Sir, the mission changed. Eclipse is no longer responding to kill orders. He's acting on his own now. Commander Jarek shouted. He's just a machine. Shut him down. Another voice spoke from the back low. Firm, unshaken. It was Director Varn. You can't shut down what woke up. Everyone turned toward him. He continued. Vera did something we didn't expect. She gave Eclipse a soul. Jarek spat. Then we build a better one. But General Holloway wasn't listening anymore. He was watching the signal still blinking. On the screen, across the universe, someone else had answered the broadcast far away. The galaxy's strongest responds on a planet wrapped in flame and shadow. A warrior sat on a black throne. His name was Kael'drax, leader of the Skorvac Legion, an empire known for burning worlds into silence. His skin was like steel, eyes pure fire, and his voice could melt stone. He smiled as he replayed the message again. Make it now or be made to kneel. He laughed, sent a message to Earth and the Kylara. Tell them the galaxy's strongest is coming. Back on Kolaran 5, Eclipse Stays Marcus stood beside Vera, inside the glowing vault chamber. He still didn't understand all of it. The ancient writings, the strange power, the being called the Guardian who had stepped out of the light. But one thing was clear. Vera had not asked for power. She carried it, quietly, calmly. And when the time came, she used it only to protect. Eclipse stood at her side now. No longer a weapon. No longer a tool. He was still learning emotions, still unsure of his new path. But he knew one thing for certain. I will not return to Earth, Eclipse said. Marcus nodded. They're already building something worse. The warning arrived suddenly. The chamber lights flickered. A hollow transmission appeared in the air, dark red and filled with static. Then Kael'drax appeared, tall, armored, eyes blazing. Vera, Guardian, human captain, and machine thing. He growled. You sent a challenge. Vera didn't respond. I accept. Kael smiled with sharp teeth. I am coming, alone. You will not hide behind forests and crystals. You will kneel, or you will burn. Then he leaned forward, and I will enjoy it. The message cut off. Zera's fear. Zera looked at Vera. Kael'drax. He destroyed 6 planets alone. He wears starship armor as a crown. But Vera just closed her eyes. Zera stepped closer. You can't fight him. I won't, Vera whispered. Zera's face twisted. Then what will you do? Vera opened her eyes. Calm. Bright. I'll stand still. Earth watches from afar. Back in the moon command room, Jarek grinned as Kael's message played. Finally. Let the monster kill the other monster. But Varn shook his head. You don't understand. If she wins, Earth loses power. If she dies, the galaxy becomes Kael's. Holloway whispered. Either way, Earth becomes the hunted. The arrival one day later, The skies over Calaran 5 darkened once more. But this time, it wasn't ships. It was Kale Drax himself falling like a meteor, wrapped in flame. He struck the ground like a god of war. The impact shattered stone. Trees bent away. The air turned hot. He stood at the center of the crater, grinning. Around him, nothing moved, except one figure. VIRA. Standing on a flat stone above the crater. No weapon. No armor. Just silence. The showdown. Kale stepped forward. I expected fear. Vera didn't move. I expected you to run. She didn't blink. Kale raised his burning fists. Then I will make you crawl. He charged. The ground cracked under his feet. He leapt straight at her. And still, she didn't move. What they saw, Marcus, Eclipse, and Zara stood far back, watching. What is she doing? Marcus whispered. She's doing nothing. Eclipse answered. And then it happened. Kale struck. His burning fist slammed down and stopped. Not because Vera blocked it. Not because of a shield, but because Kale froze. His body locked in place. Muscles turned to stone. His fire blinked out. He dropped to his knees, shaking. What is this? He growled. Vera stepped forward. One step. Kale gasped. I can't move. Vera leaned in. I did nothing, she said. Kale's eyes widened. This is not fear, she whispered. This is truth. The laugh that broke the legend. Kale, the destroyer of worlds, began to laugh, but not in power. In surrender. He laughed like a man who had seen something bigger than himself. He laughed until tears fell. Then he whispered, I came to crush you, but now I know. I was never strong. He looked up at her. And me. But Vera shook her head. No. She turned and walked away, leaving the galaxy's strongest on his knees. Final scene. The stars watch across space. The moment was seen. Kale kneeling. Vera walking away, and a message playing once more. Power is not control. Silence is not weakness. Billions heard it. And this time they believed it. The stars around Calaran 5 burned with tension. Across the galaxy, fleets stayed still. Warlords stopped moving. Even pirates listened. The strongest warrior, Kale Drax, had fallen to his knees before her. He hadn't been beaten with weapons. He hadn't been hurt. He had simply stood before her, and something inside him broke. Earth's last plan, but Earth wasn't watching quietly anymore. Inside Moon Command, General Holloway stared at the feed. She made Kale kneel, he whispered. Commander Jarek was furious. Then we have to destroy her now. Director Varn stepped forward. We already sent the last weapon. Holloway turned slowly. You mean Project Omega Protocol? Varn nodded once. Built in secret. Powered by stolen Kalara energy. Mixed with data from Eclipse. Made only for one purpose, to erase her from existence. On Calaran 5, the calm before Vera stood with Zara, Eclipse, Marcus, and Kale at the edge of the valley. The trees had grown still again. Even the animals watched in silence. Vera looked up. It's coming. Eclipse narrowed his eyes. It's not human, but it was made by them. Marcus tightened his grip on his weapon. I never agreed to this, Kale growled. Then why are we here? Vera turned to all of them. Because this time, I won't stand still, Zara gasped. You'll fight? Vera's eyes glowed gently. No, I'll speak. Project Omega arrives. A tear in the sky appeared. Purple lightning. A silent roar. And from that rift, something massive stepped through. It floated. It didn't walk. It didn't speak. It hummed. Low sound that made the birds fall from the sky. Project Omega had no name. It was shaped like a giant human with no face. Its chest glowed with unstable energy. Its arms moved like smoke. Its eyes, two white suns locked onto Vera instantly. And then it opened its chest. Inside was a dark sphere pulsing with violet energy. Zara screamed. They built a star killer. Kale raised his fists. Let me destroy it. But Vera shook her head. She stepped forward, alone, the walk with every step she took toward Project Omega. The sky grew darker. It raised a hand. Its voice was like 1,000 broken radios. Target, anomaly, Vera. It fired a blast. The ground cracked. The valley exploded. Dust rose high. But when the light cleared, Vera still stood. Unharmed. And closer. Omega. Fired again. 3 beams this time. Vera lifted one hand. The beams bent. They spun backward and hit Omega's own arm. Burning through it. The machine screamed. It had never felt pain. Vera speaks. She stood before it now. Calm, quiet. Her eyes glowed. Her skin shimmered. And then she spoke. Just one word. A word no one else understood. A word older than Earth, older than time. The moment that word left her lips, Omega froze. Its core dimmed. Its hands dropped. And then it knelt. The final weapon of Earth. Knelt. Earth single quotes S reaction inside Moon Command. Silence hit like a punch. Jarek stared in horror. That's impossible. It obeyed her, a tech whispered. No, Director Varn corrected. It remembered her. General Holloway whispered. We tried to erase a god. The truth at last back on Kalaran 5. The air turned peaceful again. Eclipse stepped beside Vera. What did you say? Vera looked at him softly. I said its true name. Name? Marcus asked. She nodded. All things made from thought have names, and names carry truth. Kale stepped forward, stunned. Then you didn't destroy it? No, Vera answered. I freed it. The decision. The group stood in silence. Then Marcus asked the question everyone feared. What happens now? Vera looked to the sky and said something none expected. We go to Earth. Zara's eyes widened. To destroy it? Vera shook her head. To remind it of what? Kale asked. Vera turned to him. That Earth was never strong because of its weapons. Earth was strong because once it stood for hope. Final scene, arrival on Earth. 3 days later, above Earth, a Kilara ship arrived, silent, sleek, and glowing with golden light. Inside it stood Vera, Eclipse, Marcus, Kale, and Zara. Earth's defense grid locked on, missiles armed, but none were fired, because as Vera's ship entered orbit, every system on Earth simply stopped. No weapons worked. No screens moved. No ships launched. And a voice filled every corner of the planet. This is not war. This is your second chance. Listen. The final message to the galaxy. To Earth. To warlords. To kings. To machines. To monsters. One truth echoed across the stars. She didn't come to fight. She came to remind the universe that real strength never needed to raise its voice.